Get into the room real quick first. Seriously. Hey everybody, welcome to this Sunday's edition of Live with Zach and Regis. Regis Philbin is in the house tonight, everybody. So listen, today's gonna be less. I really think I'm gonna start a podcast or something. I've been thinking about it for a long time, and I feel like this is kind of basically that, right? Except I'm doing a live video situation, and then it lives on Instagram for 24 hours, and then it's gone. So maybe I should look into doing something that has a little bit more of a permanent form. I don't know. Or maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should just keep my fucking mouth shut. Oh, actually, that's some good housekeeping. So, listen, today's gonna be less Q&A for anybody that's messaging me down here, actually on the app. Please know that I'll try to get to some of that. In fact, I'll probably do that a little in the beginning, just so we can let more people give more people more time to jump in. But this is going to be more about discussing kind of the events of the last few days that some of you may be aware of and some of you might not be aware of, and I'll kind of bring you all up to snuff on that, at least to the best of my ability. But please know this. Please know that there's probably going to be some very interesting language in today's live. I'm probably going to drop more than a few F-bombs, and again, not for any other reason other than I use that as in a very expressive way. It's become kind of part of my lexicon, and I don't really find that much problem with it. So if you are offended by the word fuck, then you should probably not fucking watch this. At least not today. Anyway, I don't know. More than that, I specifically wanted to discuss this topic of friend zoning because in the last couple of days, obviously, there have been some people that have been very, very, very offended by this term, and also very offended by the way in which I handled myself in response to something that I was told. So anyone out there, I did invite you to watch. I hope you are watching. I hope one of the people that is watching right now, if not multiple, are those people who have issue with me, who quite frankly might even fucking hate me. That's okay. I'm totally fine with that. I encourage you. I want you to be here and discuss with me if I can stream you in, or even if you can just hear me, because social media, these little devices are beautiful and they're amazing and they help us do so many things, and they're also horrible for discussing anything of real merits in a deep and meaningful way, particularly when anger and barbs and venom are being thrown about, and that seemingly is what we see more and more nowadays. It's just little sound bites of go fuck yourself. And that's terrifying. It's really terrifying to me. So if you feel that way of like, hey, Zach, go fuck yourself, that's fine. But at least give me the opportunity today to explain not just what my process was in what's happened these last few days, but also the context of my own life and what that means, because I do think that means something. I think that is meaningful when you're trying to understand why someone feels the way that they do about something and why they hold the opinion that they do about something. So at least, give me this day in court. If you think after this, fuck that guy, he's an asshole, he doesn't get it, he's not listening, then that's fine. But I'm at least going to attempt to give another side of this experience of the last few days, but also another side of this whole conversation that I feel like is sorely not being heard or not being recognized in some way. And again, social media, interwebs, it's this amazing power that we have, but we have to be very careful with how we use it. So listen, again, like I said, I'll do a couple of these. No, actually, I don't want to even do any of these questions. We can do regular Q&As later. We're on a roll. We're talking about it. So listen, to everybody that's commenting right now with the hellos and all that stuff, if you actually could not, and what I'd love for are just, I want to do some of these stream in live bits, because if there's anyone out there that has dissenting voice or another opinion or whatever you'd like to share, I'd like to, in kind of a radio show fashion, I'd like to bring you onto the show, and then we can discuss this like normal people. But before we get to that, I just want to start with kind of bringing any of the uninitiated up to speed on what exactly happened. So, and I'm Instagramming from my iPad so I can use my phone so I can have some kind of context and discuss this. So forgive me, there'll be a few moments where I'm searching through tweets or whatever, but I'm trying to be as transparent and honest and accurate as I can, because I think all of those things are very important. So essentially 2 days ago now? 2 days ago, I think. 2 days ago, we've been shooting nights. I'm sitting around on set a lot, and I like Twitter. I like people, and I like Twitter. I like the ability to be able to have discourse and connect with you guys. Anyone who follows me, I see each and every one of you as a human being and just as valuable as anyone else. And so the fact that you even take your time to follow me or support me, I find to be incredibly honoring. But some of you have real questions or need some real encouragement or have been asking for advice, and no joke, my Twitter's turned into like Dear Abby in the last week, and that's kind of awesome to me. I love being used as an instrument to try and help people and love people, and so that's great. But then on the heels of literally dozens and dozens of what I thought were good bits of advice or encouragements or even pointing people toward other things that I don't know anything about, somebody asked me, let's get back to, I'm going to just try and find this. Somebody asked me, essentially, they said, hey, Zach, oh man, I should have had this one saved up. Or maybe if just bear with me. But essentially somebody asked me, hey, young man that didn't have any game. He's in high school, and he said, hey, do you have any pieces of advice for a young guy in high school to talk to their crush? You're some big buff superhero-y guy, but what about for us normal guys? To which I replied, bro, and I want to read this verbatim just because I don't want anybody misunderstanding this. Come on, where is that fucking tweet? I'm going to find it, I promise. I'm going to find it. And when I do... Yep, found it. His tweet, and I quote, how did you go about approaching your crush in high school? I assume it was easy for a big buff superhero like yourself. God bless you. But any advice for the average-looking males like me? Okay, so I started laughing at this question because if he only knew who I was in high school. I was 5'4" my freshman year of high school. I knew no one in my high school. I moved back to Ventura from Seattle, Washington, and I missed orientation. I knew nobody. I was a scrawny, weird kid. I was super spazzy. And was super short until the summer between my sophomore and junior year, where I hit a growth spurt so rapidly that I was Lanky McLankerston. I was Shaggy from Scooby-Doo, and I had no game, even less game at that point. I probably had more game when I was 14 than I was at 16. But regardless, my response was, bruh, I had no game in high, bruh, B-R-U-H, just just because we're being accurate. I had no game in high school, none. I was the guy girls, quote, friend zoned, unquote, right off the bat, and whose shoulder they'd cry on, complaining about the guys I wanted to be with the little hands up like this, like, them's the breaks. That's what happened. That's what I meant. That's what I said. And again, just so everyone understands context, I'm a 37-year-old man. I don't know what friend zoning, if that's changed drastically. And by the way, I've gone and looked at a whole bunch of different links, and we'll get into that. But from my context, my reality, my truth, my opinion, my existence, friend zoning is still when you go, man or woman, you go to someone of the opposite sex that you are attracted to romantically more than a friend, and you make it clear that you are that. They know that you want that's what you're interested in, and they still want to relegate you to a friendship role. And you, by the way, decide to go with that. I'm not blaming girls. I didn't blame any girls in my tweet. I thought I was being self-deprecating and explaining I had no game, and I did that. I was a little puppy dog. There were girls that very much knew that I really wanted to be with them, not even necessarily have sex with them, although let's be honest, every teenager is probably thinking about sex on some level at some point, but that's not the point. The point is I liked them. I thought I loved them, whatever that puppy love was, and I wanted to be their boyfriend, and they didn't want to be my boyfriend, and I still puppy dogged around while they knew I liked them and they liked the attention that I gave them. These girls are still friends of mine to this day. I mean, I don't see them. We all live different lives. I may see them at my 20-year high school reunion if we can all make it. That is what friend zoning was to me. That's what friend zoning still is to me. That is my definition of friend zoning. And just because other people have other opinions or definitions of friend zoning does not necessarily mean that that is the accepted or understood definition. And again, we'll get to that in a second. So, like I said, that was my response to this gentleman. The response that I got in return, this was the first negative thing I saw, and it was to me, so unbelievably out of left field. It was so... I read it, and when I read it, I started laughing because I thought the person, I even looked, they were a follower. I was like, this is clearly sarcasm, just like on a really like meta level. And I started laughing because I was like, oh my God, they're really funny. And then it started to dawn on me that they were not joking, that this is serious. So that was my next reaction. And then I actually did feel bad for this person. I hate this person, not I want to hurt this person, not any of those things. I felt bad for this person because in response to what I tweeted, which was essentially innocuous. I mean, this was talking about my own personal experience that nobody else has any real perspective on, truly, other than me and these girls. But they would then take that, and then this is their response to that. Wow, I just lost so much respect for you, period. You were not, quote, friend zone, unquote, because that is, and this is in all caps, not a real thing. Real thing is all caps. You were not friend zoned because that is not a real thing. You were just a friend, and that's not their fault. You were girlfriend zoning. That's all in one word, too. It's not in quotes. It's one word, girlfriend zoning them. Did you ever ask them out, or are you just whining about it 20 years later? 20 years later. So again, and like I told you, my literal response was, I was laughing, thinking it was a joke. Then I realized it was serious, and then I felt bad for this person. Because if that is their response to me, there's something very wrong. Very wrong with them. There's, Caroline, I hope you're watching, but that is not, if you are trying to educate me in something that I might be unaware of, and by the way, not just me, but many people, I would say the majority of people, don't understand this new redefinition of friend zoning. We actually don't. I've never heard of it before, and that doesn't make me wrong. That means I am unaware that there is a group of people who have decided to redefine it, and more than that, not only do those people expect you to know that redefinition, but you must be on board with it. I'm sorry, but that's not how I believe life works. I don't believe that a little group of people, I'll rephrase, not little, but a smaller than the majority group of people have decided, without consulting anyone else, without asking anyone else's opinions on the matter, they have decided that a term that everyone else thought was innocuous is now something that is damaging, that is dangerous, that is predatory. I was completely unaware of this. As, by the way, I can show, if you want to scroll through everyone's responses to me since the friend zoning debacle, 90% of them had no idea that this redefinition had been made. They did not. We understood it to be something you have now redefined, and in your redefinition, and therefore taking that and internalizing that, you attacked me. There's no amount of trying to educate me. There's not a link. There's not a factoid. There's no bit of data. If I can break it down for you, this is what you said. Wow, I just lost so much respect for you, just right out of the gate. I'm like, what? What have I done where I've lost respect for you? I went over my tweet multiple times. What did I say in there? You were not friend zoned, telling me what my personal experience was as a child. You weren't there. I don't know what happened to me. I don't know what I felt and what I saw. You were not friend zoned because that is not a real thing. Now you're telling me. You're not begging the question, could it be that friend zoning might be different than what you think it is? Could it be that maybe you were wrong? You didn't pose any of that. You straight up are telling me definitively what is reality and what is not. And that is unbelievably insulting and disrespectful. You were just, again, telling me my own reality. You were just a friend, and that's not their fault, which I never blame them for. Look at my tweet. You were girlfriend zoning them, again, now creating a new term that I had never heard of, and I think even people who might find friend zoning to be on the fringe might not even have heard of. Did you ever ask them out, or are you just whining about it 20 years later? Caroline, come on. That's so unfair on so many levels. You know that I was responding to someone. I wasn't going onto Twitter or social media to air my upsettedness about girls that didn't want to be with me in high school. I've joked about this for years. I've been self-deprecating about it for years. I did not go to Twitter to start attacking women or saying that those girls owed me anything, which is now what part of this definition is. And again, we'll get to that. I wasn't saying any of that. Did you ever ask them out? Of course I did. And how dare you assume that I didn't based on your own experience? You might have these experiences. By the way, so many people out there that are still angry with me or hate me or think I'm wrong. Listen, you might have experiences that are very in line with your experience or definition of friend zone, but your experiences are not other people's experiences. They're not. And as soon as we can start understanding this, the sooner we can start empathizing and trying to empathize and trying to have grace and understanding with people. I literally read this. I couldn't, again, this is why I thought it was a joke. Because it is so out of left field and doesn't provide me any alternative of trying to educate me that I might be wrong. It is just an attack using venom and sarcasm and anger. And from a follower, I even went back to her thread. She goes, I know I've followed him and I can't believe this is such an asshole thing to do. I'm like, oh my gosh. Did you not read any of the other tweets that I've been tweeting for the last, you said you follow me. I've been doing nothing but trying to be encouraging and inspiring and fair to people and fair to conversations. I don't even get onto Twitter to talk about fucking politics. All I try to do is help people genuinely and sometimes be funny. But the other thing that I also do, and this is where I think people got really pissed off, clearly, is while I will, with everything in me, while I will try to be encouraging and inspiring and helpful and loving and all that, I will fucking will not stand by and just be punched in the face because I happen to have a blue check next to my name. If you have a problem with me and you choose to go to social media to air that problem and you do it in that way, no. You can't. People are angry with me. They go, including her, I can't believe he quote tweeted me. Caroline, if I quote tweeted you or reply tweeted you, it's still a reply on my timeline that my followers, including you, can see and can go back through that. You can go back through that. It's the same thing. There's no safe way to get to, clap back at somebody on social media, which is why there's no safe way to clap at someone on social media. If you want to go clap at somebody like that, be prepared that they might have thought out their response a little bit more than you did. Be prepared that they might not be coming from an emotional place, but rather actually go, whoa, wait a minute. Where is the logic and reason in all of this? Because there was none. There was no logic and reason behind what you were doing. There was emotion, and that's real, and that's totally beautiful. If you have experienced something in your life and you're angry and you've been hurt by that and you're scared by that, then let's talk about that. But you cannot allow those things to take over your body and your mind in such a way that now they're controlling your mouth and your fingers to the point where you want to go and eviscerate someone publicly, which is what you tried to do. You wanted to make me feel so bad about what I said that I would somehow come back to you and apologize and say, I'm sorry, I had no idea. Well, guess what? That's not life. That's not maturity. That's not reality. That's none of that. And I grew up with a pretty friggin' amazingly emotionally manipulative mom, okay? I've been around this block once or twice. I know when someone's just trying to get a rise out of me, and I'm not going to stand for that. Moreover, when people do this, I will use it as an opportunity to show everyone else out there who is just raring to go. I can't wait. I got my hands on my guns. I just want to come out shooting. Fucking think twice about that shit. Because it's not okay and it's not fair, and you are not furthering the conversation. You are only making it worse for yourself and for everybody else. On the topic of all of that stuff, if you are a follower of me, I was going to start the whole thing with this, but if you are a follower of me, I have asked you so many times in the past. I've asked you at Nerd HQ. I've asked you on social media. I've asked you in these lives before. For the love of God, stop fucking fighting for me. Please stop dogpiling on people. I didn't need anyone to weigh in on Caroline or Mo or anyone else. I'm a big boy. I can handle my own self. And by the way, I'm not getting as riled up as you guys are. This is, getting it all out, and I obviously feel very passionate about it. But I'm not losing sleep over this because I know my heart. I've interrogated my own ideas and my own emotions. I know why I think what I think and why I feel what I feel. And that doesn't mean that I can't be educated. Like, by the way, I've been educated in that somehow, some way, a couple years ago, a select group of people decided to redefine the word or term friend zone. I found that out. But guess what? That still doesn't change reality, folks. Friend zoning does not necessarily mean what you think it means just because you've decided that that's what it means. And I think it's incredibly, I don't even know what the word is. I mean, basically arrogant to assume that everyone should have gotten the memo. I didn't get the fucking memo. What makes you think? There are so many things going on in the world right now. Somebody on social media said, it's been a really big thing for a couple years. I'm sorry, but it hasn't been that big. There's wars going on in Syria and refugees and presidents that a lot of us don't really care for, and North Korea. No, I did not see this memo. I did not get this memo. And even if I did, I don't know that I would just agree with it, because the truth is it's way more nuanced than that. There are plenty of people who have been friend zoned, who do friend zone. It's been going on for many, many years, longer than a lot of the people who have these opinions have even been alive. You don't just get to redefine something because it suits your narrative. That's not life. That's not how life works. I am more than happy to discuss where things are going wrong. I'm more than happy to get in and let's fix the world. That's all I want to do is fix the world. But this is not fixing the world. Sorry, that's a little bit of a rant, I know, but like I told you, I'm going to fucking rant on these things because I feel like this is important. I feel like it's important. That's why I'm even doing this, by the way. I feel like it's important to talk about this shit because I don't know how else we get through it. We're not talking about it on Twitter. That's not a conversation. That's just boo, boo. That's what that is. And that's really unfortunate. So to everybody out there who said I was mocking Caroline with my tweet, which essentially was, I was if I can get it. Oh, you are serious, and I feel bad for you. This guy face. Now, I wasn't mocking. I don't believe that I was mocking Caroline. I don't. That was my genuine. I did explain to you. That was my genuine emotional reaction to what I felt when she sent me that tweet that I found to be incredibly insulting, abrasive, and venomous an attack. And I didn't quote tweet it so that everyone could dogpile on top of you. I quote tweeted it because you need to understand that that's not okay. And people like you need to understand that that's not okay. That is not furthering the conversation. Now, could I have just let it go? Of course I could have let it go. Could I have replied back? By the way, just so everyone's clear, I could have just replied back with, can you please explain to me why I've lost respect in your eyes? And everyone still would have dogpiled because you're not looking at your own conduct. Your own conduct was out of line. That is not, you didn't even bring up, like I said, there was nothing for me to even mock of like another opinion or another point of view. You weren't offering another point of view. You were literally just telling me that I'm an asshole and I'm wrong. You've lost so much respect for me. I don't know what reality is. And I'm somehow getting my grudges out 20 years later on social media. None of that was a solid platform of debate. None of that was. You came at me and I replied with my genuine feeling of what that was. Explosion. Mo, you tweet at me something to the effect, I can read that. No, it doesn't matter. It's fine. Mo, you know what you tweet. Anybody can go back and look at my mentions and stuff like that. There was just more sarcasm. It wasn't, and guys, come on, please. Like, we know what's sarcasm and we know what's not. You know when you're coming at somebody with a good heart and when you're just trying to fucking hurt them. A few people out there wanted to school me. That's what the intent was. It wasn't, hey, let me help him to understand. I'm going to school this guy on something he doesn't know. Well, let me tell you something that you don't know. You actually don't know what you think you know. You have an opinion of what you think you know. And that's fair. But your opinion does not equate to everyone else's opinion. And that is what brings me to really the bigger thing that I wanted to talk about right now, which I think is the biggest tragedy and the scarier thing. No, actually, you know what? Before I get there, let me say this. If there are people that are misusing a word, and in this case, people believe, there's a lot of schools. And actually, sorry, I'm very tangential, but I don't like writing things down because then it feels rehearsed, and I just want to speak from my heart. But just so anyone out there who's wondering, I read half a dozen articles on this, things that people were sending at me. I took it in. Don't think I didn't. I took it all in. It doesn't change my opinion on what we're looking at right now. Every single one of those articles, whether it was Huffington Post or Vice or Every Girl, I think was another one. Every one of them was an op-ed. It was an opinion piece. It was not some data-based study. There was no doctorate involved. There was no a professor. There was no. It was regular people having opinions about what they think of this term. That's not evidence. That's not science. That's not, in my opinion, grounds to all of a sudden assume that everyone in the world should know that friend zoning is a bad term and that we all need to get on board with that. That is not okay. So I read all those. I tried to be a part of it, but this is the bigger problem that I have, which is we now believe certain groups of people, whatever group you are, you've decided to be the moral authority on a thing, whatever the thing is, a word, a term, a person, whatever. And you, in a very incubated manner, you've decided to change the rules of the game, change a definition, change a meaning. That's pretty synonymous. But there's a new way we need to go about something. And the outrage that you, the smaller group, feel when the mass populace has no idea that you've even changed the game, that's just righteous indignation. That's killing us. It's killing everybody. It's killing our ability to even converse because you're just assuming, before we've even started a conversation, you're assuming that I know everything that you know and agree with everything you agree with. And if I don't, then I'm in the wrong. Please explain to me how that's helpful. Please explain to me how that's going to get any of us anywhere. If, in fact, you guys who have decided to redefine friend zone, if you're right, if we actually get to take this debate, although how can we ever get there if you're just calling everybody else an idiot? I don't understand. I don't understand. So that's about all I can. Oh, man, it's really warm. I'm schwitzing, guys. I'm schwitzing. So, I'll kind of end that rant there, and now we'll get into bringing some people in. So listen here, I asked this. I really am only looking for, I don't want to answer questions about a Chuck movie or Shazam or anything like that. I want to stream people in, hopefully who have a very differing point of view from me. because I would love to be able to exchange ideas and not just agree on ideas. But if there's somebody else out there that has something you want to add or whatever, please come in. But that's all I want to do here. That's all I want to do. Oh, you're wearing it. Oh, come on. There we go. Oh, come on. There we go. Add. Okay. You were wearing a Supergirl shirt, so I think that's a pretty apropos person to bring in. Fiery Redhead 81. Oh, see, this I like this because I get to kind of chill out and drink a little coffee and learn. Declined. Oh, okay. Let's go to, let's see. No, let's go. I'm Mickerman. By the way, for everybody that decided to tune in, and for everyone who always tunes in, or whenever you tune in, I really do appreciate it. I mean, I think this is fun. I think it's helpful. I really genuinely care about everybody out there. Everybody who hates me out there. I love you. I don't hate you. Hi. Hey, wait a minute. Have you gotten it before?
Hi.
Have you streamed in before?
Are you okay?
Oh man, you're breaking up again.
Yeah, I'm AM account.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, it's a little bit of a delay. So, but awesome, I can hear you. So, what are your thoughts on friend zoning? Have you ever been friend zoned? Have you friend zoned someone else? Is it something that you find to be a bad term or innocuous or anything in between?
See, I've never been friends with them before, but I think they be open and honest with the person. Don't ever leave them play with them. Just be completely honest and open.
Yeah. Do you think? I agree with you. I think everyone should be open and honest all the time. I think it's difficult when you're a teenager. You know, you're still developing, and we don't know a lot. You know, we're kids still, and emotionally, our emotional intelligence and our intelligence are still kind of on a lower side. But I completely agree with that sentiment. The term itself, did you happen to read my tweet when I tweeted it? Did you find it to be offensive when I used it, or do you find it to be offensive when anybody uses it, or do you just think it kind of depends on one's definition?
I think it's how you look at it. Really. Because you were being like, I could tell you being respectful to you weren't trying to like in their face, actually telling your story about how you were friends.
Sorry, and I'm just trying to.
I think it's like how you look. Down. It can be a bad thing, or it can be a good thing. You know?
Okay, so it can't. So it's not just across the board a bad term. Oh no, I think we're losing you. Goo. I think I need to turn my volume down some more. Do I still need to? Sorry, Anna. I'm just trying to. Probably should have done all this stuff in the beginning. See, this is when I do a real podcast. I'll have people that do this for me. It'll be great. Hold on. How's the volume now? Is everybody okay with the volume? Okay. No. Sorry, Ann.
Okay.
You know, I think I got to disconnect too because you're breaking up a little bit. You're breaking up a little bit. Anna, thank you so much. Thank you. We'll see you soon. All right. Can anybody give me some feedback? Oh, a thumbs up on the volume. Is the volume okay now? Volume's good. Yeah. That's like right. I'm echoing. Am I still echoing? Oh, hers. Okay, it was. Okay, copy that. Okay, it was more of a connection thing and her thing. Okay, cool. Well, let's try another one. Here we go. All right, let's go. Oh man, these things keep jumping so fast. Let's go. Nope. Yeah, there we go. And boom. Points for the masquerade mask on this one. DK La Sunshine. By the way, that doesn't mean everybody go put on masquerade masks and start putting those as your avatar pictures. Hey.
Hi.
Oh, guys, good. There's no lag. Hi, I'm Zach. What's your name?
I'm Dakota.
Hi, Dakota. Nice to meet you. Where are you from?
California.
California. What part of California?
LA.
That's a pretty generic place.
Yeah, no.
Where are you at? What's that?
Santa Monica over by.
Oh, Santa Monica. Oh, you're so spoiled. It's so beautiful down there. It's lovely. It's lovely. So Dakota, thank you so much for watching the live stream. Have you been watching from the beginning and have all the context?
I did not. I don't know. I think I understand what's going on.
Okay. Did you see any of the tweeting and everything that was going on?
I did a little bit.
Okay. Well, do you mind if I ask how old you are?
I'm 15.
15. Okay, rock and roll. So actually, you have a very different perspective on this term than I would. So as a 37-year-old man, friend zoning to me was a pretty innocuous thing. It was you're two people of whatever your sexual orientation are, but one of you likes the other more than just friends at some point. The other one doesn't reciprocate that feeling, and therefore you are now in the friend zone. You are a friend. It was as innocuous as that. And really, honestly, the worst thing that I ever saw in friend zoning was when someone who it's the two-sided thing, which is the one person liking the attention of the person that they know is romantically interested in them and kind of keeping them around. And from my experience, me being a little puppy dog and not letting that go. I really liked this person and I wanted to give them that attention, even though it was really bad for me and my own self-esteem. That was about the extent of what I thought the bad traits of friend zoning could be. There are now people who believe a very different thing about it. So what is your take on friend zoning? Do you find it to be something that is predatory? Do you think it's an innocuous term? Were you offended when I use the term? Are you offended when anyone uses the term?
I would not. No. I don't. I agree with what you said about there's kind of like some pride involved in that. I want to be noticed. That whole thing, like with what you were just talking about. I don't call it a bad term because I think overall it has to do with your feelings. And so if one person reciprocate another person's feelings, I don't think that the term friend zone. I think it's like it's a very ambiguous term because a lot of people think, oh, you have friend zone, that's a bad thing, and all the other person being honest with their feelings.
Right.
So I don't think that it really depends on who's using it, and I honestly didn't know that any definition changed or anything like that. That was totally new to me. I always thought it meant, you're not in a relationship, and so, and actually I've had recent experience with this. I had like a guy, I didn't like him and he liked me. And so, but I don't know, I say that either of us friend each other, if that's, I just don't see the use in using that word,
Okay.
Because I feel like it can be taken so many different ways.
Copy that. Okay. Yeah. Dakota, I'm so sorry. I got to let you go because everybody's telling me that they can't understand anybody because nobody's wearing headphones. So I'm gonna pop off with you. But thank you so much. I really appreciate you.
No problem.
And I hope that this is informative on some level for you and for
everybody.
Yeah,
it is helpful. Thank you so much, Zach.
Okay. Bless you, darling. Thank you.
Bye.
Santa Monica. Oh my God, it must be so beautiful in Santa Monica right now. Hey, so I'm learning. Okay, anybody that I stream in, please be wearing your headphones. Or do I need to wear headphones? Is it me that needs to wear headphones? Am I that asshole? I'm that asshole, right? Is it me that needs to wear headphones? Oh, for crying in the nights, guys. Oh, I don't even have headphones. How sad is that? That's so sad. I do. It is me. I need to be the one wearing the headphones. Well, that just takes all the fun out of it, doesn't it? Yeah. Wait, let's see. I might be able to do it here. Here we go. Oh my gosh, guys. It has been so cold in Toronto, so we've not had to use our air conditioning one time. And it just, like, spring has motherfucking sprung. It is warm. It is warm. I'm schwitzing over here. I'm not opening that. Oh my God. Look at the rat's nest that is my headphones. This is so ridiculous. I really wish I could get those earbuds. It just reminds me of that Golden Retriever movie from the 90s. I want to get the earbuds, but my ears are too wonky. They will not stay in my ear. I would lose those every single day. I would literally somebody would say something, I'd be like, what? And they'd gone out of my ear. Lost into a gutter forever. I would never be able to use them. Well, while I'm untangling these things, You have headphones. I have headphones. That might help. The never-ending. It's just ridiculous. How does this even happen? What headphone gnome is in your backpack going? You'll never get it undone. It's insanity. Oh, for heaven's sake! Hi, Puerto Rico. Do a solo Insta Live. I am doing a solo Insta Live. I'm doing that right now. I want to join, but I don't know how. Ha ha ha. To be perfectly honest, I'm not sure either. I tried to join somebody else's live stream the other day, and I didn't see where the option was. And then I thought, oh my gosh, I really just need to pay attention to doing this and not pay attention to talking to the screen for a second. Oh, hey, well, thank you. I'm glad I can be a dose of positivity in your life. Walnut Swap, love back to you in India. I've been following Ryan Tedder on Instagram, One Republic. They were just in India. It looked dope. Like their show and everything. You Indian fans really came out in force. I love that. I really like One Republic. I think they're a really good band, and Tedder's a really cool dude. I don't really know him that well, but hi, Zach Flynn Rider. Hi, K Forks. I don't know if you noticed, but that Caroline also replied to me when I said people should learn how to chill. Yeah, I know. I mean, look here, guys. I can't reiterate enough. Don't. You don't need to get involved in whatever my conversations are. And I know some of you out there are thinking, well, then why did you put it out to everyone? Because I think people need to be aware of it. I'm not replying or quote tweeting or what. I'm not doing that on social media to get people. I mean, literally, I was accused yesterday. Somebody said, yeah, I really liked Zach, and then he sicked all of his followers on this girl. I was like, I did nothing of the sort. And by the way, people do that. People actually do go on social media and say, go attack this person. I have never in my life leveraged the people who follow me on social media to go attack somebody else. I would never I don't need that. I don't want that. I don't want that for that other person. And also I can't be held responsible for what everybody else does. I say it over and over and over again. Please don't dogpile. Please don't fight my battles. I don't need you to fight my battles. I really, really would prefer it if you didn't. And in fact, those of you who, tend to go and get crazy, I see you guys, and I don't end up responding to you on Twitter anymore. You might still follow me. I see you. For those of you out there who think you're being really crafty and you're not coming across as being weird or stalkery or mean or whatever, you're not that crafty. I see you, okay? Stop being an asshole. Stop treating other people like shit. But if you're coming at me and you're attacking me and it's nonsensical stuff that's really mean-spirited, don't think that I'm not going to amplify that. That's like saying, like, no joke, I was thinking about this. It's like, imagine I was at a conference and I'm doing a TED Talk. I don't know. I'm on a stage and I'm talking to thousands of people. I'm on the stage. I'm talking to thousands of people. And those people are there in this area to listen to what I have to say. And then you got up from your seat, walked up onto the stage, took the microphone, and then insulted me in front of all of those people. See, now here, this is the beautiful thing about it. You would never do that. Caroline wouldn't do that. Mo wouldn't do that. Any of the people out there on social media, none of you would do that. So why do you think it's okay to do online? Why do you think it's okay because you have an avatar that's not your face and a name that's not your name? You get to now publicly denounce, ridicule, insult whoever you want, whenever you want, however you want. That is killing the world. It is killing all of us. You have to stop. And if me pointing out when people do that is wrong, then I don't want to be right. I'm not asking anybody to fight my battles, but I will not allow people to just spew hate like that and insults like that and think that it's okay. Because you would never do it in real life. You would never show up where I could have made the exact same statement. In fact, I think I have made a very similar statement to that friend-zoning statement at Nerd HQ at some point, talking about how I was a gangly kid. You never would have got up and walked on stage and said, I've lost so much respect in you. You never would have done it. So why do you think it's okay to do it online? Have you asked yourself that? People, we need to ask ourselves this. Are we willing to stand behind what we say online? Because I am. I actually have to. Because of that blue check next to me, because I live in the public eye, I have to stand by what I say. And I do. That's why I'm here right now on Instagram Live, ranting like I do, and trying to untangle headphones for an hour. Because I give a shit. And I care about standing behind what I believe and all of that jazz. All right. How ridiculous is this? Okay, here we go. I thought I was going to put it in the head jack. Oh, this might work. Yeah, you know what? I think if I can flip this might flip. Oh, this is just going to be. Does it flip? Does it flip? I don't know. Do I look like I'm upside down or right side up to you guys right now? Because your messages are all upside down. Oh, this is too much fun. And the camera's down there. Oh, I don't know how to do this. And I can't do it sideways. And the jack is on the bottom. Guys, I'm hosed right now. Oh, man. All right, forget it. Just forget it. I don't know. And I can't. Oh, man. Okay, I promise. I promise that the next time I do, watch this. What if I just bundled them and they're already? Okay, we're okay. I promise the next time I do this and have people call in, stream in. I don't even know what the terminology is. That I'll have headphones and we can do it properly. I'm sorry that it's so loud. I don't know why it's so echoey with my iPad, but it's not that echoey with my phone. I don't know. Just hold your phone like a normal person, you lazy. Hold my phone. What do you mean? Like this? You want me to? Is that better? Does that help with? Yeah, but the Bluetooth is now my Bluetooth headphones. I don't know that they're I don't know that they're connected to my iPad. I don't think I've paired them. And they're going to connect to my phone. I'm not going to, it's fine. This is more complicated than it needs to be. Maybe I can just try and answer some questions. You have two phones, bro? Why? I have a phone. I have a phone and I have a iPad. Or did you just join the party? Place cup and phone. Wow, the amount of, these are connecting with someone who is wearing headphones. I don't know that that's going to help it because it's the audio coming out of my iPad into the, no. Okay, why don't I do this? Why don't I can stop the live. I'll stop the live and then I'll start the live again. And hopefully I'll have connected some headphones by that point. Let's try that. Okay, bye-bye. I got headphones. It's so weird. I hate these earbuds though. They kind of like, I know. They were just sitting upstairs. Who'd have thunk it, right? But they're like super noise deadening. Like I can't really hear myself when I talk with someone. I'm gonna have one, so I'm just kidding. Oh no, you know what? I'll just keep it out. Oh wait, I can't because you got to hear me through. Oh my gosh, guys, I'm really not the sharpest tool in the shed, huh? Can you hear me through my headphones? Can you hear me through my headphones? Do you want to build a snowman? What would you do if I sang out of tune? Would you stand up and walk out on me? Lend me your ears and I'll sing you a song. I will try not to sing out of key. Oh baby, I get by with a little help from my friends. I get high with a little help from my friends. I'm gonna try with a little help from my friends. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. All right, let's see if we can get some people up in this live stream. Let's see here. And boom. No, come on. I really wish I knew. I want to add somebody that I know for sure is in disagreement with me, if that makes any sense. I want to be able to have this conversation. I don't want to just be agreed with. Well, it's just kind of random choosing. Okay, I'm going to go. Here we go. All right, let's go there. Boom. I think it's Daryl Hannah from Kill Bill. I think. But, and again, bonus points for being Daryl Hannah in Kill Bill. Oh. Hello. Yo, can you hear me? Wait, is this working? A minute. It wasn't even plugged in. Wait, can you hear me now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Hold on. I'll just make sure. Is everybody good with hearing our friend here? What's your name, sir?
Ian.
Ian, what's up, bro? Okay. Not Daryl Hannah from Kill Bill. Copy that. So, Ian.
No.
Hey, bro, I love Daryl Hannah, too. Daryl Hannah and Splash was dreamy. And, of course, I love Tom Hanks so much. I think Tom Hanks might have been a little dreamier. Because at least he didn't have a fish butt. So, Ian, where are you from?
Wisconsin.
You're from Wisconsin. How old are you, Ian?
17.
17, okay. So have you been, are you up to speed on everything that's been going on?
Nope, I just joined a couple seconds ago.
Oh, well, crap. Okay, well, buddy, I'm gonna let you hop out because I want to discuss this whole friend zone thing with people who have been kind of up to snuff. But bless you, man, and have a great day.
Thank you, bye.
Okay. Oh, hey, guys, hold on one second. Hold on one second. Hey, man. Cool. Thank you very much. Thanks. This is what chicken and broccoli looks like. Y'all, I eat a lot of chicken and broccoli. And if you're in the Toronto area, actually, you know what? I'm going to take this out when I'm not actually. If you're in the Toronto area or near-ish, wherever, there's an incredible company called Fuel Foods, and they do meal delivery stuff, and it's super tasty, very good ingredients. Happens to be run by a buddy of mine named Nick McNaught, really, really good guy. Anyway, maybe check into it if that's something that's your deal. Okay, cool. Well, let's try and find somebody else now, shall we? Shall we? I know it's not what chicken and broccoli look like, but it's what it looks like to me every Wednesday and Sunday. Delivery. Okay, back at it. Well, unless they haven't given me another little to change the subject for a few seconds. What? No, I'm not gonna do that. Okay, here we go. Let me join A Green Day to Remember. Okay, well, A Green Day to Remember. I'm gonna try and find you here, if I can. Hold on, that person looks like, I'm gonna go here. Liz Weber. You're the next contestant on The Price is Zach. Where's my pal Superman? I don't know. Helping people?
Hello.
Hello. Oh, whoa, I got a whole family going on. Hold on, let me plug in here. Boom. Wait a minute. You're not driving and... Okay, somebody else is driving. Okay, good. Okay, cool, tight. What's up, yo?
What's up?
What's going on? Okay, so I got, what's that?
We're huge fans of you.
Oh, well, thank you very much, man. I really appreciate that. I'm really grateful that sorry, I'm trying to not give you, when I go to this mode, it ends up bringing, somebody said they were looking at my cleavage and I didn't want that to be the case. So even though I know I've been working on it. Hi, where are you guys going? Where are you driving to?
We're headed back to Atlanta. We were in South Carolina. We're just road tripping.
Okay. And what's y'all's relation?
Husband, wife, brother.
Okay, rock and roll. And what are your respective ages, if you don't mind me asking?
25 and 18.
Okay. So are you guys aware of this whole friend zoning thing that has been going on the last couple of days with my tweets and all that kind of jazz?
No. Do you know?
Oh no.
So we're just...
No. Okay, well let me just ask you really quick because there's been a whole, you can go back and read all the tweets and all that jazz, but there's been a bit of a debacle, a bit of a kerfuffle about exactly what the definition of friend zone is and if you can use it in a passing innocuous way or if it is a very demeaning or predatory term now. So what do you guys think friend zoning is? And is it predatory or innocuous?
I feel like it's kind of demeaning a little bit. it. What do you think?
I've never used the term friend zone.
But why haven't you used it?
Because I've never been friend zoned.
All right, copy that. So it's demeaning to how exactly? Just to give you some context, somebody had asked me if how to talk to his crush in high school and what's some advice. And I told him that I had no game in high school, that I was the guy that girls would friend zone, and I would cry, and they would cry on my shoulders while complaining about the guys that I wanted to be. I thought I was being self-deprecating. I was then informed that the term friend zone is now very much correlated to rape culture, to being a predator, to men believing that women owe them sex for being their friend, which I was totally unaware of and had no idea that even a small group of people redefine the term that way. How do you use the term? I can't hear you. Oh, bad connection. No. All right. Sorry, guys. I mean, that wasn't first. That was kind of fun. We just lived into a moving vehicle, and 3 people got to be on the show. That was fun. All right, let's go to another one. Guys, seriously, please don't try to be. Maybe you're not even choosing. Maybe you're just automatically added to who I can add in the stream. But I need to talk to people who at least have some context in this conversation, because I want to talk about this stuff. Let's go. Oh, is that Tony Stark? I kind of like that. It looks like a Tony Stark. I'm going to add that guy or girl. I don't know. It's an avatar. And it might not be Tony Stark. I could have that wrong. And not Robert Downey Jr. Tony Stark. Tony Stark. Slight difference. Though I love Robert Downey Jr.'s Tony Stark. It didn't work. Oh, for heaven's sake. All right. Madison Chalmers, I'll try and find you. Please, I hope that you... Oh, no. Did I just freeze? Gosh, dang it. It's on my end, isn't it? It's on my end. It's all frozen. Let it go. Let it go. Ending. Take 3. Good. All right, it's working again. It kind of froze, didn't it? Did it freeze for everybody else? My shit completely froze. By the way, sorry for all the technical difficulties and mishaps along the way. One-man show at this point, doing the old social media Sundays. Hashtag SMS. Hashtag blessed. Sunnyside, you just joined. Okay. Favorite superhero? Me. Duh. Hi. All right, cool. We got it to a K. How many people can you have live stream at one point? Am I capping out, or am I just not getting up there? I need to work on my numbers. Regards back to Pakistan. Zarna Bijorani. Madison Chalmers still saying, let me join. Okay, I'm going to try and find you, Madison, but please, whether it's you or anybody else, I really am looking for people. Jennifer Taylor went to high school with me. I thought I was a total babe back then. Well, okay, girl. Okay. Maybe I have more game than I thought I did. What? That's where that fingernail polish emoji comes in handy. Come on. Yes, you were here before, I guess. I don't know. I'm waiting for the thing to pop up to say, let people stream. So until we do, we'll just kind of hang out. Thank you, by the way, for anybody who has been hanging out on this Sunday and all the hearts. I see all the hearts. Look at that. It's amazing. You say hearts and all of a sudden a whole bunch of hearts. Just did it again. Hearts. It's too much fun. See, this is where social media and technology is really fun, I think, and it's also informative. And let me again reiterate. Let me again reiterate and say to anyone out there who was really offended by what I said or how I said what I said yesterday. Honestly, my intention, I know this might sound crazy, but my intention was not to offend you. my intention is to draw attention to what real offense is and how we're going about doing this stuff. And I hope, at the very least, I hope you guys understand what my context and what my perspective, what I meant by what I tweeted, which was not at all anywhere near what was being assumed what I was saying. I wasn't asking my followers to sick anyone. I wasn't diminishing that there may be real problems in the world that some people are correlating to friend zoning, but are not friend zoning, in my opinion. I hope that you're seeing that I'm a human being and I genuinely care. And for anyone out there who hates me or still hates me or greatly dislikes me, completely your right to feel that way. Know that I will continue to love you. I will, and I don't mean that in some trite, weird, stupid way. I genuinely do. I love people. I believe that that is what we are called to do. Even your enemies, even people who fucking despise you, we are to love those people. And sometimes love doesn't feel real lovey-dovey. Sometimes love is a good, like, hey, check it out, which I think some people thought they were doing to me, like, hey, come check this out. But that wasn't what was going on. It was attack, and it was vicious, and it was uncalled for, and it was, enough to elicit a response from me that you got, which was real, and it was for a reason. So that's all important. Oh, by the way, another thing I wanted to bring up was, this concept that friend zoning is somehow a sexist, misogynist thing. I've seen all those op-eds that I read, by the way, they all take incredible liberties, assumptions. They say, this is what men mean. And that is definitive. That's all men, which is not accurate, which is not true. And I am not about to go get taken down the road of, well, don't give me this not all men stuff. It's not. And I think it's important that people understand that when men say, no, not all men, they mean that. And that's true. And that you can't just blanket statement something over people about what some might be doing. You can't just do that. But moreover, sometimes they were saying things that were just false in the, which one was it? I have them right here. Oh, crap, I got to move my phone. I emailed them to myself so I could read them again later. Oh, and the BuzzFeed article was about how Daniel Radcliffe had come into the BuzzFeed offices and he was doing a movie that had something, I think, somewhat correlated to friend zoning, and he started talking about how he thought it was dangerous or bad. And then there were, I think, at least 3 women who are staff writers or whatnot at BuzzFeed who wanted to weigh in on what that was. Well, again, they're all entitled to their opinion, and I think that they all have some perspective from their own personal experience or what they know of other people. But they were making false statements. One of them literally said, women don't friend zone. They quoted Daniel Radcliffe as saying, they quoted Daniel Radcliffe as saying, look at here, back to the phone. They said, what Daniel Radcliffe said is so true. You never hear a woman say, I'm in the friend zone. You just don't. That's unequivocally, I'm going to stop using words that I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce. That is absolutely wrong. You can go and take a poll right now. It is a two-sided situation. There are men and women who friend zone and get friend zoned. And again, and then there's multiple definitions of what that even means. So, so for anybody out there hating me, I love you. I hope that I've shown you something about who I am, that you understand that I'm not against you. But I am not going to just be railroaded by an emotional manipulation into believing something that I don't actually think is accurate, and certainly wasn't ever given an opportunity to weigh in on before it was redefined. I just don't think that's fair. Okay, so I'm a woman and I've been friend zoned. By the way, I know I've seen, literally, actually, to be perfectly honest, when I broke down, and I'm pretty good at being able to snapshot a lot of data within my feed, when I broke down the amount of people that replied back to me and said, I've been friend zoned, it was more women than it was men. So again, there's a lot of things that are being bandied about as being fact or somehow settled science, and it's opinion, it's people's opinions, and opinions are massively flavored by one's own experience. And Anyway, I think that's important. Okay, so come on. I want this stream thing to come back up so I can get. Here we go. Okay, cool. Here we go. All right. I already tried you and you didn't work, so I'm gonna see if I can find. Where did that go? Oh, sorry, guys. This thing just keeps moving. It keeps moving. Oh, she's playing a cello, or not? Maybe it's a cello. No, cello's down here, right? Yeah, she's playing the violin. Oh, and her username has violin in it, so it is definitely a violin, guys. Sherlock Holmes, that one.
Hi! Oh my God, is that true? Hi, Zach.
What's up? I'm losing you. Oh, hold on. There we go. Can
Are
you
you
hear me?
listening to me? Wait.
Oh man, this is just not working. Oh, can you hear me?
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hi.
Do you see
What's
me?
going on? What's your name? Yeah. I think this isn't gonna work. This isn't gonna work either. I'm so sorry. You gotta go. Bye. Oh man, guys, unless you got a good Wi-Fi connection or something, it's gonna be very difficult to make this thing happen. I'm gonna try another one. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going here. I'm gonna try and figure it out. Let's try it. We got a little cute little dog in yours. Elizabeth Allison, welcome to the show. If you make it to the show, please have good Wi-Fi. Hey, yo.
Hi.
Yes, you seem like you have good Wi-Fi. Yes.
I think I do.
Very good. Hi, I'm Zach. What's your name?
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth, pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Do you mind if I ask how old you are? Or what decade you grew up in?
I'm 31.
31. Okay, rock and roll. I've had a 15-year-old and a 17-year-old and a 25, a 27, and an 18-year-old so far on the stream. And I think it's important, obviously, for context and perspective, kind of what we're talking about. Speaking of, have you seen the tweets? Have you followed what's been going on with all this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank God. Okay, good. So now, okay, we can actually discuss that. I'm just trying to get this in a way where people aren't just seeing me. Hold on, let me scooch down in my chair. All right, that's a little bit better. Okay, cool. So, Allison.
Elizabeth. Last name is Allison.
Elizabeth.
It's confusing. I have two first names.
Copy. I'm Zachary Levi. It happens all the time. So, even though that's my middle name. But the point is, so what is your take? And please, don't feel like if you disagree with me, that's totally fine. I will not be offended. I genuinely want to understand not just kind of where this term, when this shifted, but also from my perspective, and the bigger conversation, why do we as certain groups of people feel very passionate about something, decide that we want to change it for us, and then assume everyone else already knew that and is on board with that, which is, again, kind of my bigger dilemma here. But let's start with what is your take of friend zoning, and where does that lie? Is that what's your take on friend zoning? What is the definition to you, and how does that what emotion does it elicit in you?
I think that the definition is changing because I think, as you said, new groups of people are starting to struggle with the definition as a misogynistic term. I don't think that that's in the mainstream yet. I don't think that's the way most people use it. I think most people use it very innocently, saying like, I wanted to be in a romantic relationship, but it didn't work out that way for me, so I was friend zoned. I think where people see it as something negative is then that it has such a negative connotation that it devalues the friendship and says, because we're not in a romantic relationship, this friendship is now a bad thing. I'm not happy with our relationship.
Right.
And it may not be worth pursuing. And so I think generally, I think generally that's where the problem lies, is that people feel that if someone says that they have been friend zoned, it's that they aren't appreciating their friendship fully with that person. That romantic interest.
Gotcha. See, and while I feel like I understand that that's, and by the way, and even more sinister, which is that some women are feeling that it's gone to a place where certain men feel owed
sex because they've been kind or nice to someone, right? And that is 100% wrong. I guess one of the things that I am trying to grapple with, and I don't agree with, is that just because a small section or whatever that's, again, anything less than what the majority is, and that group of guys is bastardizing or illegitimizing or somehow using that term for their own benefit or for guilting or whatever, so we just throw the entire word out. We just stop using it because those guys have used it incorrectly. Or it's like if a gang all of a sudden started wearing a certain color combination, right? Like that, let's say it was reminiscent of, like, I don't know, a country's flag even. Like Ireland, like, orange and white and green. And all of a sudden there was a gang and they were vicious, they were horrible, and those are the colors. Do we all of a sudden just stop putting up Irish flags because those people have misappropriated it? That's what I feel like is happening as far as the definition is concerned. Does that make sense? Or
No, I see the analogy that you're making completely. I don't know that we need to completely stop using the term, but I do think it's important to be sensitive to the people who are saying that, hey, this is a problem. And yeah, the tweet that was sent to you wasn't coming from an angle that was wanting to educate you. So I think that's where that conversation stopped.
Gotcha.
I do think that when a group of people, even if they're smaller than the majority, starts to say, hey, this term might be problematic, then it might be time to pause and really investigate and reflect on whether you agree with that or not just write off the opinion or say we're not going to do that just because it's a small group of people saying that or using it this way.
Oh, no. And by the way, I completely agree with that. There are many things in my own personal life where I am in the minority of those thoughts. In fact, this kind of stuff, I think sometimes, like even just like sitting down and being like, hey, let's talk. I don't hate you. We totally disagree, but I mean, not you and I, but just in the general. But there are many things, many opinions that I have, many thoughts that I have that I know are in the minority of what is in the world. But I know that if I believe that to be true, and I want everyone to experience nothing but truth, because I think through absolute truth comes joy, comes love, comes all those things. If I want other people to get behind that, the last thing I'm going to do is start yelling at that person, assuming, because essentially the anger is broiling from, they should already know. And not only should they already know, they should already be on board. They should have already agreed. And that to me is not getting anyone anywhere closer to more truth. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I felt like I was dealing with. And I certainly, and again, in the bigger conversation, I think this is something, that's why I wanted to talk about it, because my definition of friend zoning still hasn't changed. My understanding of how other generations have been using it or how certain people have been using it has definitely been enlightened. But I still stand by what I tweeted to that guy in high school. There was nothing in that was, in my opinion, condoning any kind of bad behavior. Bad behavior can be done using anything. People who want to go do bad behavior are going to use anything they can to go and justify that bad behavior. But, I'm in agreement. If there's something that needs to be heard, the size, it could be one person. I mean, look, as a Christian or as a person of kind of a Christian spirituality, right? We believe in this guy, Jesus. He was one guy. He wasn't just a small group. He was literally one guy who was like, yo, check it out. Maybe we can look at life a little bit different. And one might argue he got killed for that. But the point is, it has nothing to do with the size. It has everything to do with, is it true? And are you sharing it because you actually care about the person that you're sharing it with? And I think those two things are being sorely lost in just in the world in general. Right.
And I think that that's a big part of the conversation that you're facilitating right now. So what I'm interested in is, although it didn't necessarily start in a very positive or conducive way for conversation, when you did all that extra research, did you learn anything that was new or really interesting? Do you still feel the same about the term friend zone, or has your opinion changed a little bit?
No. That's what I'm saying, is that I've read all of these, or I've read everything that everyone sent to me, and which is about a half a dozen articles or so. One of them was an article, but it was kind of an article that was citing this writer who on Twitter was kind of talking about how friend zoning is the term friend zone is a lie or whatever, and all of these articles, again, they're all op-eds. They're all opinion pieces. They're not, from everything that I read, there was not one empirical piece of data. There weren't polls taken. We went to 1,000 people and we asked 1,000 people, what is your definition? It was just people who, and by the way, sometimes very eloquently written, but it's still a very personal thing that they are. And this is what writers do. I write occasionally as well. You are venting your feelings. You are saying, this is how I feel about this thing. But if there's no real data to back that up, that's not going to sway my opinion as to what I think the ultimate truth is. That said, I 100% saw these writers' vantage points, these writers' perspectives on this, and the people that they cited from that. I had a problem, though, because they were using incredibly definitive wording, like men, not some men, not even half men. It was just men do this, or no woman has ever said, I've been friend zoned.
Yeah, hyperbole gets us nowhere.
Hyperbole gets us nowhere. Oh, yes. If you really want to get to the heart of something, you can't just make these blanket statements. And so I got to tell you, it was difficult for me to read these and not feel like they were being unfair even to their own argument, because I didn't feel like they were being fair to the facts, to truth. However, clearly there are a section of people right now who believe that men and only men, which again I don't necessarily agree with, but again, that only men are using this, and and friend zone, or the term friend zoning, is being used to guilt women into essentially telling them, you owe me sex for being nice to you, right? That is not okay. But to me, that's not friend zoning. That's being a sociopath. That's no, seriously. I mean, this is mental health we're talking about. This is not a term that people have now hijacked. If they've hijacked it, this group of men, these young men, they don't get to redefine what friend zoning is. You can't allow evil to redefine something that's innocuous or even good and then go along with the evil because they hijacked it. You got to be able to say, no. Young girls who are coming up against this, or men like myself saying, no, you can't say that girl friend zoned you and using it in that term or in that casing. I think we have to be able to say there's a difference in that, right? And if we can't come to the table and at least discuss that without people saying you're not listening to women, which is what people were accusing me of. I'm not listening to women. I'm listening to everything that anybody. There's not a delineation to me. We're human beings. And for the onslaught to happen, I got to say, I do feel like not only is it unfair, but it made it even more difficult. And I'm somebody who wants to learn. I want to learn all the time. You are not going to get people who don't want to learn if you're just saying, go fuck yourself. And again, if you finally get them to the articles to try and learn if it's a bunch of hyperbole or if it's just a bunch of opinion, which again is valid. I do believe that everyone's opinion, we are entitled to our opinions, but not everyone's opinion is as valuable as another opinion, because some people have more educated opinions than other people, right? So that's just really what it comes down to in that. But I think to answer your question, was I hope I did. I 100% see that there is a problem in young sexuality where specifically, but and I don't know where this threshold is, because again, none of those articles really talk about age ranges. But some people are saying it's much more younger guys, and where we're at kind of as a society. There is a problem with sexuality in general, I think, in our society. We are oversexed as a population. It is everywhere. We're all expected, men and women, to behave and act and look in certain ways that I don't think are healthy for interpersonal relationships, for our own self-love, any of that shit. I think there's a lot of bad stuff going on. But I don't think, so I agree with some of the bad shit that's going on that these girls are pointing out, but I don't make that correlation. I don't believe that the term friend zoning is just, well, it's out. It's the baby out with the bathwater. We can't say that word anymore because some people fucked it up, and now nobody can say it because now you're condoning bad behavior. That is an irrational overreach, in my opinion. And again, something that comes from a place of arrogance to assume that we all even knew it was happening, that this redefinition happened, and that we should all already be on board. So, does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, cool. Did you find this interaction to be beneficial in any way?
Yeah, I think it was really an interesting conversation. I like having conversations where you get to discuss the way that terms change and evolve.
Yeah.
So as society evolves. I am a student of linguistics and English and literature.
Zhuzh.
And so
did you see those tweets about cash and zhuzh and all that? Never mind.
So I think no, I didn't see them.
Okay, sorry. It was a dumb joke.
Those.
Dumb joke.
No, I didn't see those, but I think it's really, really fascinating the way that language changes, and I think language does evolve. And so I think it's going to be a word to watch because there has been so much buzz around it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that a lot of people are really sensitive to the idea that that flirting or kindness can be confused with each other.
Yeah.
And I think that friend zoning is can fall into the category of something that is the understanding of it is based on anecdotes. And I think an anecdotal understanding of being like, well, I've been friend zoned and therefore this is an experience completely is a dangerous way to just define it. Sorry,
Yeah. No, it's okay.
My husband just came home.
No, it's all good.
So I should probably get going.
Well, tell your husband I said hello.
Okay, I will.
And I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and we'll talk to you later.
Thanks for the conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. You too. Bye. All right. So how was that? Did anybody learn anything? Where's the top of my head? Top of my head? That's the top of my head right there. I know it gets a little, because I go into the split screen situation, guys, and then it's got to, and then listen, as a queer woman, I've had many perspectives on the topic. So talking about black, I don't know. I wanted to read that comment. Hold on, stop commenting, everybody, just for 1 second. As a 25, gosh, I'm ready. Look for the. I see. Look for the Captain. Okay. I'm gonna look for you. I'm gonna look for the Captain America hoodie, and we'll see. I think she did have birds. Yes, I think that's what we were all hearing. Those were some birds, and then a dog at the end, and then a husband. It was a family affair. It just had a show of thumbs up. Is this beneficial? Are we learning anything? Are we growing at all? Is this something that we should keep talking about? Should I just stop talking about it? I mean, I promise I'm not going to keep going on and on about it on social media after today, although it may come up again, and I'm not going to shy away from talking about it. But I think this is all really important stuff. What's going on with my hair? I don't know. What is going on with my hair? That's my hair. Do you have a problem with my hair? I'm trying to talk about important things, and all you want to talk about is what's going on with my hair? Come on. Thumbs up. Okay, cool. Thumbs up. Yeah. By the way, isn't it amazing that talking about like language, right? Language and language barriers and what we understand and what we don't understand. I mean, universally, this is good. This is good, guys. I mean, that's kind of amazing, don't you think? Where did this start? I'm not going to assume it started in the Western world because I don't know. Oh, by the way, which also brings me to something. Sorry, I'm going to tangent again. But a lot of these op-eds that I read, or even people's opinions on Twitter that they were sharing, they were saying part of the reason it was a misogynistic term was because it was created by men. And I got to tell you, it stops me in my tracks to hear something like that because who the fuck? I have no idea who created the term friend zone. How do you know who created the term? The internet doesn't even know who created the term friend zone. It could have been a woman. It could have been a girl talking to her friends going, yeah, I had to stick him in the friend zone because I wasn't really attracted to him. You have no idea. You have no idea. So any of these people that are in these articles literally saying men came up with this term, or on Twitter saying men came up with this term, that's a lot of presumption to be throwing around. Anyway, but which brings me to, I don't know where the thumbs up, or back to, I don't know where the thumbs up came from, but it's pretty universally groovy, isn't it? I like it. I like this one too. I like the shaka, you know, that kind of a situation. I feel like Hawaii's done well with that. The Polynesians in general, it's made its way around the world pretty well. I think surfing kind of helped that along. I don't know who created it either. I don't know. It's more often used by guys who complain. It may be, I don't know, but whoever said that, do you have? There's no poll. I don't know. That's an assumption. Guys, we can't throw around opinions and assumptions as if they are fact. You are misleading people when you do that. You can't. People are looking for answers. They're looking for direction. And when you use hyperbole or you use opinion and you just throw things out like, yeah, it's probably that. That could be derailing people really heavily. So I think we just need to, the fact that I'm in my 30s and just realizing this term has a negative spin shows your privilege, just saying. I'm not going to respond to that. I'm going to let you and anyone else take in everything that I literally just said for the last, holy crap, we've been doing this for like an hour and a half. The last hour and a half. Privilege does not, in fact, it's actually pretty counterintuitive. The more privileged I am, the more access I have to information. So I should have seen it on the news. I should have read it on my laptop that I own because I'm privileged, but I didn't. That doesn't make any sense. I don't, come on guys, think about what you're saying. Think about it. It's not hard. And please stop judging. Oh man. Okay, all right. Well, let's try and get another. Wow, we've been really doing this for like an hour and a half. I know, but I kind of like it. Do you guys like it? Thumbs up if you're still in it with me. We'll do this for a little bit longer, and then I swear to God, I'll be done. You're in your 20s and you never knew this was an issue. How dare you, you privileged person? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Why so serious? I don't know. I'm actually feeling pretty groovy considering we're dealing with such heavy topics that I had, that weren't heavy before 2 days ago, at least for many of us. I don't know. But apparently we're all privileged and we didn't know that. Come on. How does this live pop-in thing? Is it random? Does it just decide every once in a while? If they change the meaning of the expression, that's their problem. I know, I agree. Megan, you'd love to chat? I would love to chat too. I have to wait. I don't know how to manually do it. It literally just kind of pops up in the chat thread. It goes, oh, would you like it? And I gotta go, yes! You gotta time it perfectly, and then you gotta somehow time picking the person perfectly. Instagram, we gotta work on this. Let's change the topic to something light. I don't know. We talk about light stuff all the time, guys. Again, we can talk about Shazam and Chuck movies and all that. We talk about that all the time. Everybody asks the same light questions about that. I think we need to talk about heavy stuff sometimes. And, we can talk about heavy stuff, but not try to be too heavy about it, which I think I'm trying to do. I am not Groot, but thank you for asking. I love that guy. Yes, the term privilege is a whole nother topic to discuss. We should do that. That'd be a good one. I think that we should need to talk about all this stuff. Let's be honest about it. Let's and you quoting facts and different studies and things. I'm all about it. I'm all about it, guys. Hessa from Saudi Arabia. Hello, Hessa. How are you? Tortilla Man 01. Thumbs up to you. Sometimes funny comments out there, like the one you received, can be a cry for help. I work with a lot of patients who will have very strange reactions when they are trying to process. And that may be. I try to play every tweet that I get as best I can, and again, guys, talking about context and perspective, I would hope that we try to take people as a whole. We're all fucked up, right? We're all broken. We're all faltering on a daily basis, sometimes moment to moment. We're just hanging on. I would hope that people aren't expecting me to be 100% perfect, but more than that they're taking me as a whole. And if you would have just looked at the tweets from that 24 a day, or even the hour before I tweeted that one, I think you could have gotten an idea of who I am, what my heart is, where I'm coming from. You know, it's pretty fascinating. It's pretty fascinating how fast people, you know, they can. It's like, okay, you're good, you're good, you're good, you're good, you're good, you're good. Fuck yourself. Like, it's like, wow, like that fast. It's just gnarly. You've possibly given me the confidence to ask a girl I really like out. That's great. You should totally do that. And if she says, hey, no, I don't want to do that. I just see you as a friend. That is what you need to 100% respect that. But here's the thing. Also respect yourself enough to know that if you feel romantically for her and she does not romantically feel for you, you can and possibly even should take the time to maybe not be friends for a little while so that you can process your feelings healthily, and then you can reapproach your friendship. I think this is one of the other problems with friend zoning that people are not addressing, which is that when you know someone wants to be with you romantically and you don't want to be with them romantically, that's now an unhealthy relationship. Just that is that, because it's already one-sided in the moment. You got to be able to process those feelings and say, okay, this person likes me. Maybe we shouldn't be friends for a second, because that's one of the things and I'm not saying I'm not guilty of it, you know, because we've all had somebody that maybe we thought, oh, I think they're into me more than I'm into them. And we kind of go about our time. And the truth is, you know, there's a part of you there's a little selfishness in there, because you kind of like it. You like that person is still wanting to hang out with you and praise you or give you adulation or be sweet to you, whatever. You like that. Normal friendships aren't that. Guys, girls, if you are friend zoning somebody and they are puppy dogging, you are part of the problem. You have got to be able to say, hey, you know what? It's not fair to this person that I just keep stringing them around or hanging around. Like, I know they want more, and they're giving me more than my other friends give me. Guys with other guy friends, or girls with other girlfriends, or girls with guy friends that they're not into, and it's a mutual thing, or vice versa. You know, you're not sitting around bringing each other flowers and all this and well, you look. You know, it's like, come on, that's not regular friendship. That's a power play a little bit. So I think that, you know, that stuff needs to be addressed too. I think. All right, I am live streaming. What are you talking about? Oh, you want to get into the live stream? I'm still waiting for whatever this. I don't know how to do this. I don't know. Oh, holy crap! I just figured out how to do it manually. This is amazing. Oh, guys, we're learning. We're learning. Here we go. Okay. Yep. Danielle Rose found ya. Danielle Rose the Rita. And we're connecting.
Hi.
Yo, Danielle. Is it Danielle Rosarita or Danielle Rose?
Yeah, Danielle. My middle name is Rose, and my cousin Kristen used to call me Danielle Rosarita. You know those like Rosarita beans that you get at the grocery store?
100%, girl. 100%.
As a kid.
Yeah.
So she's told me Danielle Rosarita beans.
That's fantastic. And where are you from, Danielle Rosarita?
I'm from Lompoc, California.
Oh yeah, I've been to Lompoc before.
Oh,
well,
okay.
I mean, I grew up in I know there's not a lot.
Usually people go.
I know. It's, you know, we passed through it. I mean, I grew up in Ventura, California, and so we would travel, like, literally family vacations. We didn't have money for plane tickets, so we would take we were road tripping every summer, and we would just basically go up the 5 corridor, and we drive through different parts of California and so on. But it's, you know, I kind of like it because we really got to know a lot of California, which is such a beautiful state in so many ways. And granted, maybe Lompoc or Bakersfield or, you know, places that I know a lot of people don't love living, and there's not that much going on. Fresno, I love all you people out there in those places, but I get it. But yes, I'm aware of Lompoc and Rosarita beans. So if you wouldn't mind, because I loved your post. I ran back through it to see it. If you could just tell everybody who's watching, what did you message to me, and why I think that gives you a very interesting perspective on what we're talking about.
Okay. Yeah. So I had said that as a 25-year-old queer woman, I have a lot of perspectives on the term friend zone, but I also have a lot of perspectives on what you said your bigger issue with it was, the whole redefining and then not letting everybody know about the redefining. So with the queer community in particular, there's a huge issue with gatekeeping. You get kids coming into their sexuality and they're children, right? They're figuring this out as children. And maybe they grow up somewhere where it's not talked about, or they don't know anybody else who's queer or what have you. And they finally come into this and they think it's going to be this great moment in their life. But then they enter the community and they're expected to know everything. And it's horrible. It's horrific. And they tend to hate themselves for not knowing enough, and they're mistreated for not knowing enough. And there's not this, fostering of education. Just a few days ago, there was an event on my campus with Gabby Rivera, who wrote the America Chavez solo run of comic books. And she really heavily addressed the issue of gatekeeping and talked about how in one of her works, she did a lot of educating on, there's this term and it means this, and there's this term and it means this, and there's this term and it means this, because she didn't have that when she grew up. And so I feel I have noticed that gatekeeping has kind of become part of everything now.
Forgive me. What exactly is gatekeeping? If you could,
so gatekeeping is like if you have a group of people. So whether it's a fandom or the group of women who probably were the ones who decided that friend zoning is a bad term, or the queer community. So you have a society, you have a community, and they have made these rules, but they haven't told everybody the rules, and they expect you to know the rules already coming in.
Copy. So it's like gatekeeping the information.
Right.
Okay.
So like if you don't know the information, you can't get through the gate.
Right.
So I do agree with you 100% on that there is this really negative expectation that you should have all of this information already, which to me is a really dangerous rhetoric when you consider the fact that things like Time's Up and Me Too are so new. Women are it's so new that we're taking this power for ourselves. And for a lot of people, that is a change in a lot of the rhetoric that they get to use. It's a change in interpreting things differently. It's things like, and I'm not trying to invalidate any woman's experience, but it's things like, so if I get catcalled on the street, right, it kind of squicks me out. Sure. But to a guy who's doing it, they think that they're being flattering. So if you're somebody who is, like you, who wants to learn, who wants to be good, who wants to improve, who wants everybody to be comfortable, then if you don't know that that's going to have that effect in somebody, how can you possibly change it is the thing. Mm-hmm. And so I do agree with you that the whole, if we're going to change the term friend zone, you need to be willing to let people understand that and come into that, rather than just expecting them to understand it right away. But for me,
but it also, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but isn't it also, I think, fair to give everyone at least a shot at weighing in on if we should change a word or not change a word? I find it difficult to believe that it's fair for a small group of people to just decide it. That's the first problem for me. It's a small group of people without asking everybody, without saying, hey, how does the majority of people, like, part of the reason I love the US is because it's a fucking democracy. On some level, hopefully we get to choose a lot of the legislation or legislators that are giving the legislation, even though I think that's God, I can't, well, you know what, when I start this podcast, we'll get into all that shit too, which is a fucking, that's the debacle in my opinion. But at least we're given the idea that we have this democracy. And I feel like when a small group of people just go, nope, we've decided that's what it is, you're alienating the rest of the population into getting to have an opinion on it. And B, then again, assuming they already know, like somehow we all read these HuffPo articles, or we all read these Vice things, which, by the way, most people don't. If you look at the 350 million folks in the United States, most of these people have not seen these articles. They did not know this was some big thing. It might have been big for someone. It might have been big even for that small group of people or that medium-sized group of people, but it wasn't. You can't just equate that and say everyone in the world should have got gotten the memo, because the memo clearly wasn't gotten.
Yeah, and I do agree. Especially for me. So like, for me, the biggest thing that I noticed.
Get out of here.
The biggest thing that I noticed when friend zone became a negative term, people tried to say you couldn't like the show Friends anymore.
Whoa, what?
Yeah.
It went that far?
Because of Ross is consistently friend zoned and is always complaining about it, and so people took that as like a negative aspect. I had no idea. A lot of people took like a lot of the stuff that Joey says as being like horrendously misogynistic, and yeah, some of the stuff didn't age very well, but that happens with everything. Happens with everything.
It's generational comedy. I mean, I don't know what to.
Yeah. And so for me, I do understand your frustration. Yeah, I do absolutely. And that comes back to the gatekeeping term. It was this group, however small or large, that changed this term and then just expected and anticipated that everybody would be on board automatically. And so for me personally, the term friend zone, it's a very situational thing. You know what I mean? Like, it can be, to me, I can have a negative connotation with it, depending on how the person is saying it. But I also do think it is a good blanket term to describe the, situation when you like somebody and they don't like you.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Which is what I thought it was. Right. And to me, that is innocuous. That might not be the desired result or whatever. That is not using the term, which is what I was being accused of literally propagating and condoning essentially predatory behavior. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. That is not a fair assessment. And moreover, I wasn't even told that to begin with. I was just told, this is why you're an asshole and you're wrong and how dare you and I've lost respect for you. Not even told why.
And I do see the aspect of how it can be a predatory term. Because there are people who do view it that way, but I have never been a fan of the phrase, not all men or not all. To me, it always sounded dismissive, but I do agree. It is not all men. It is not men. But there are people who do use it in this, negative way. But I think that, like you said,
I'm losing you. Can you hear me? Rosarita. No. Oh, boo. Danielle Rosarita Beans from Lompoc. I hired background actors for the live stream today. I just thought I'd, add a little flavor. Hey guys, we're nearing a 2-hour session here, minus all of the ups and downs. From Germany, you don't know what the friend zone thing is, just go Google it. You can look at my timeline. I'm gonna take this out. You can look at my timeline to get more context of what we're all dealing with. Rosarita Beans from Lompoc, thank you so much for weighing in. I really appreciate your point of view. I was hoping to get even more contrarian point of view. I genuinely was trying to find, I want to get into, to truth. I just want to find truth, and I want to find it together, and I want to find it with love. And sometimes that love is firm. Sometimes that's not just going to be okay, cool, whatever. I will not sit by and let people attack me for no reason with no context and expect that to not be shown, because we don't get to just hide behind avatars anymore, guys. It's not okay. It's not okay. Thank you for everybody. Shannon Fox, I love you. I'm so glad that you watched. Oh, I'm so glad. And I do miss you, boo. I'm sorry if the fandom or whatever comes along with that is a little too gnarly. But I love you, and tell your boy I said what's up, and really everybody that continues to follow me and support me, and who tunes in for these things. Even if you hate me, I love you. I really do. And I hope that we can all find some answers together, and we can keep moving forward and fixing this world, because it's fixable, it's doable, it's healable. We are fixable and healable, and we can fucking do it together. We just have to listen. We have to listen. It doesn't mean you have to shut up. It doesn't mean you don't get to have a point of view, but let's all interrogate our points of view. Interrogate your thoughts, interrogate your feelings before you share them, because they will be interrogated at some point down the line. Someone is going to take them to task. And it's better that we do it first so that we know what we're talking about and what we feel, and be ready for some reproach if that's what's going to happen. Anyway, God bless you guys. So much love to you guys. Have a fantastic day. I'll find you on the interwebs soon enough. Maybe in 30 minutes. You never know. All right, bye.